Hey, what's up ladies and gentlemen, it is I am the one and only Maxi here, and I'm back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Knight's Journey of Dreams for the Nintendo Wii. So last time we've basically just managed to we did manage to wrap things up with every single missions in Journey Forms of Pure Valley, and in addition to those, we also managed to did done one mission in the Lost Park. And today for this episode is the fact that we might as well able to actually just to wrap things up in the Lost Park. So hopefully, along with that though, we can also might able to experience a new world as well. Assuming if we got enough time for it though. So either way though, yeah, let's head back onto the forms of the Lost Park and trying to take on the forms of the next mission. So, again, as I mentioned this before, that most of these worlds, including the different campaigns in between Will's and Helium's dreams, basically some of these mission objectives will be different, except in the first mission and as well as the fifth mission, because they always played out exactly the same, so...
Wow! I didn't realize it before, but this tree is pretty incredible.
Ah, yes. A tree that reaches all the way up to the heavens must be a sign of your heart's resolve.
Huh?
Look closely. Small lakes and what little greenery there is all center around the tree. This tree must be the source of all life for this dried-up desert world. I do hope that it remains strong and healthy.
Yeah, so do I. Hey! Some kind of seed just fell from the tree. Really? Where? Whoa, what is this? Wait a minute! That's not a seed!
It's a bomb! Look out! The Nightmarons are trying to destroy the lake and the tree along with it. Oh, this is awful. Simply awful. Oh.
Don't worry, old bird. You just stay right here. We'll take care of these clowns. Come on, Will. Oh, okay.
Okay, so in this mission is the fact that we are forced to deal with the forms of, we always have to be the dolphin transformation. So in this case, we're going to be able to be in underwater the whole time. And because of that, though, we need to get rid of bombs. And because of that though, I'm pretty sure we need to get rid of like 50 of those bombs. That seems a lot, but in order to get the A rank, I'm pretty sure you need to beat the fastest time for that, you know, just trying to get rid of every single bombs. So even then though, as well as the actual chain reaction that you have to put up with. So either way though, for the most part, this mission is not too bad though, honestly. Even then though, that if you somehow get hit by the bombs, basically you'll lose time. So yeah, you have to watch out for that. So, if you manage to run out of your drill dash move onto your gauge, thankfully there's a whole bunch of those little green rings, so that way you can to actually get some more of your drill dash gauge increases. So thankfully you don't have to worry about, you know, just trying to run out. And also this takes place in a circular arena, just like the forms of how it does it on the forms of one of those missions in Pure Valley, that we need to look after the majority of those Nightopians from that, you know, that little black hole. And usually, relatively speaking, except the fact that we're actually going to be taking care of those bombs, as you can see on screen. And it's pretty easy for the most part. You have to break that little chain and, to be more specifically for that little silver metallical chain on that little bombs. So that way you can to actually just to get rid of them by simply utilize a spin drill, or in this case a drill dash, whenever you're to be more precise with. So, but I digress. And, yeah. So, a few things I want to explain about this today is the fact that recently today's day is, of course, the 5th of January the 5th of February today, in this case in 2021. I almost get myself days mixed up a little bit, which I do apologize for that for this point, folks. Basically, it's the fact that we've only got about a week left now until when Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury for the Nintendo Switch will be releasing next week, and I'm so super excited about that game. Especially noticeable that usually 3D World is usually one of the most, the greatest games ever on the Wii U. Well, usually it, yeah, you probably get the idea how that goes. And, actually, I'll get into more details about this at any moment, because for now, let's head over back onto, the Lost Park, and able to take on the forms of the third mission. So, I'm really hoping that we can able to deal with a, well, you know, the chain link missions, because out of all the actual missions I actually just went through, I think chaining the links is actually rather easy to me though, because even then though, assuming if you're trying to get the better ranking, which is the A rank, then you would obviously slow down for a little bit, and that way you can get a good amount of combos as you can go through.
Huh? What's Octopod doing here? Oh well, let's have a little fun, shall we?
And sure enough, it is. Like, basically, we need to get up to about 30 links, just like New Forms of how it does on the, Pure Valley, except the fact that it takes place in a different environment. So, even then though, self-explanatory, it's gonna have to make it to about 30 links, but I'm pretty sure in order to get the A rank is that you have to get about 100 or more links, as in the actual combos you're able to perform. So, yeah, it's not too bad, honestly. So, either way, though, also another thing I just want to point out right away, too, that, basically, we've already got about, I would classify for saying, 16 days left until, The Legend of Zelda, the original, Zelda game on the NES, has been turned into the forms of 35 years old. So we can expect we can able to actually see new exciting news in terms of the Zelda's 35th anniversary at some point, mainly for the actual direct or something, just like the forms of how it does it when Mario managed to able to have that ever since in that god-awful 2020 year. But hopefully for the sake of this year, we'll definitely get that. So, speaking of Nintendo Directs though, is that I'm not exactly sure if I was gonna able to be predicted or correctly or what have you, but apparently some rumors are actually still out there again by simply able suggesting that the Nintendo Direct could be coming, which I have no idea of when that's gonna draw out. Because the only problem is though, is the fact that with despite the fact that we still ended up in the forms of that stupid virus thing, which I don't think I can probably talk about it ever again, just because I'm just getting sick of that stupid name. And also to top it off is the fact that recently also that you remember the forms of how it does in the forms of the Netflix thing, the Netflix series I was trying to talk about. Well, someone said in the comments, and I was able to originally try to say that, but either way though, I didn't have enough time to able to mention about that. But Sonic Prime is actually coming during the forms of 2022, around the same year as when the Sonic the Hedgehog movie sequel was on its way, which I'm really looking forward to those both projects basically. So but either way though, just to see how that usually just gonna takes place into. So but either way though, that pretty much sums it up when it comes to forms of some excitement coming up in 2022. And also is the fact that, speaking of Sonic the Hedgehog, recently LEGO has partnered up with Sega once again, ever since the during forms of LEGO Dimensions, but it forms the Sonic's Adventure Pack. Recently, they managed to reveal the LEGO Sonic Mania sets has been revealed. Not exactly sure of what the release date is going to be though, but I'm pretty sure it will be at some point in this year because of 30th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog series.
Hey, Will! Check it out! Look at that thing go! Whoa! A roller coaster! I love these things! Every year, during summer holidays, my dad takes me to the amusement park. But not this year. What's wrong, Will? Oh, nothing. Owl said that the reason this world is so lonely is because of my heart. If that's true, then I need to become stronger. That way, everyone in NiGHTopia will be stronger too.
That's right.
Was there a roller coaster here?
Yeah, a bunch of Nighttopians just took off on it.
Oh dear, oh dear. But the Nightmarons have collapsed part of a cliff. And the rubble is blocking the tracks.
What?
And when they crash into it...
Okay, don't panic. Just leave this to us. Okay, Will, you asked to see some more of my power. Well, you're gonna love this. What? Let's go!
So yeah, oh yeah, and by the way, in this mission here is the fact that we need to chase after those Nighttopians while the Nighttopians is actually riding on the roller coaster. But if you think of that for a moment, we actually have a less time limit. And also because of this though, this is entirely linear. And plus, not to mention, if the Nighttopians on the roller coaster manage to make it towards the end, you have to start over the mission again. So it's kind of like Sonic and the Secret Rings for that respect. Except the fact that, well, in Knight's Journey of Dreams, that you do have multiple controller options, as opposed to in Sonic and the Secret Rings, that you only have to use the Wii mode for the adventure mode for the majority of your adventure, so... But anyway though, what was I trying to say before? Oh yeah, about the fact that they've recently revealed the Lego Sonic set, which is actually based off from Sonic Mania, you know, with the most recent 2D Sonic game that's ever usually been made. I would try to also count Sonic Forces, but I personally do not think that, well, it does have 2.5 or 2D gameplay for classic Sonic and Sonic Forces, for sure, but the actual visual style was actually 2.5D kind of stuff. But that's probably just me. And I get a horrible feeling that I probably might get ourselves the worst ranking in this particular mission, because there were a few times though that I seemed able to get bashed onto the forms of those rocks, and every once in a while I seem to slow down a little bit, so but thankfully it's a little bit easier than the forms of how it does it on... Oh shoot, today's not my day. Yep, I got ourselves the worst ranking, which is the E rank. I believe to get an A rank though, you have to make your way to Nighttopians on those roller coasters in the quickest amount of time. But unfortunately I didn't seem able to accomplish that, sadly, just because, well, usually relatively speaking it's like a semi-blind playthrough, so I just want to point it out right away. So look at that, we got C, B, A, and E, or on its left is just D. So that way it just makes the entirety of a full letter order. So in this case the only missing letter is of course D. So I'm presuming D is the actual E color. So if I recall correctly, it's kind of like a rainbow kind of syndrome. So anyways, without further ado, let's move on to the last mission in Lost Park. And I believe we're going to be taking on the forms of a boss rematch encounter. So I'm not looking forward to this, honestly, because I said this before already. This is by far the most luck-based boss battle I've ever had to face.
The ground around here is all dried up. Something doesn't seem right. Stay on your guard, Will. Okay. So you finally decided to show up. But where is he?
Which, yeah, we have to face off against with this guy again. So, except to make things a little bit annoyingly luck-based, is that you can't really tell of, where he is. Although you still need to utilize the power loop in order to able to actually find a magician or something like that. But, the biggest problem with this is that sometimes you're able to actually place those bombs. And if you manage to get hit by those bombs in the background, you will lose time. So, yeah, just be very careful not to get hit by that bombs that usually just shows up. Like, usually, relatively speaking, that if you think you're about to be finding him as soon as you're able to find the A card or something, but it turns out there's a bomb there, so yeah, you're able to lose time. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of this boss fight, honestly. It's definitely one of the more luck-based boss battles I have ever had to face, because you have to kind of guess of where he was actually are, or where he is to be exact. So yeah, I'm not entirely fond about this battle, honestly, because it's random. But thankfully though, at least you don't have to worry about just trying to go for the actual linear or the actual obstacles or just any kind of like arm rails kind of stage again. So you just have to like, well, trying to find him and hope for the best, really. And I can see him just barely, so hopefully I should be able to finish him off, and there he goes. That's not too bad though, it's just the fact that, again, it's kind of luck-based, so there we go. That pretty much takes care of the forms of the luck-based boss battle ever made, but also I think we actually wrap things up in Lost Park. So, pretty cool, and huzzah at the same time, so let's see what rank I can get. Just a B. That's fine by me, because that was actually an okay run.
The blue idia. Symbol of intelligence. I can feel it filling my mind.
All of my plans have been foiled. My worthless creation.
Master Wiseman, forgive me. NiGHTS has joined forces with a visitor who possesses an idia of courage, and...
Be silent, Rihanna.
Yes, my master, forgive me.
Where that useless second-level Nightmare has failed, Cerberus will succeed.
Cerberus? The Hellhound?
You are already aware, I know, that they have quite a temper. Should you wish to avoid becoming their prey, I might advise you to take care as well, Rihanna.
I will take control of the Cerberus and bring NiGHTS to you.
So it looks like we've now finally got ourselves our second India, as far as I like to pronounce that. And basically, we are able to actually get ourselves another persona mask in that particular treasure. And let's see what we can get this time. And it appears to be, I would say, a rocket persona. So even then, though, that makes it a little bit more top-notch, to say the least. Yeah, the rocket persona. Which basically, this allows NiGHTS to be able to transform himself into a rocket. So, I mean, what is this, like a similar thing from Sonic Colors? Well, except the fact that I do apologize for that belching for this point, guys. I do apologize for that. So anyways, in addition to able to have ourselves the rocket persona that we've now got, we're also now able to actually go ahead and actually access to the third world, which appears to be Delight City. So in this case, the Dream of Amusement. So in this case, here we go on to the first mission, which is a very self-explanatory, kind of go through like few courses in between. But before that, there is something else we need to able to come across into first before we get on to the actual mission.
This world looks really fun, Owl.
Indeed. The green idia within this world symbolizes growth. Having come as far as you have has allowed for the creation of a more lively world.
That sound, it's NiGHTS.
Oh no. Hide quickly.
Oh, NiGHTS. Are you all alone today?
What do you want, Riella? Leave me alone.
Don't brush me off so quickly. After all, it's not nice to be so uncouth to a fellow Nightmarean.
What did he just say? NiGHTS is a Nightmarean? That's not true, is it, Owl?
I'm afraid it is true.
No way.
Well, fine. Be that way. It's not as if I dropped by to chit-chat anyway. Master Wiseman has ordered me to bring you back with me, and I will do so. But I must warn you, though, that our master is quite displeased by your defiance. I have no wish to face his wrath myself. Knights, you will go back to Master Wiseman, even if it is by force.
If that's a threat, then bring it on. You and me, one-on-one.
So yes, it looks like we're gonna have to face off against Riala, and I have no idea what's up with that lip syncing right there, which the lips didn't move at all. But I'm guessing it's probably because of in-games cutscenes doesn't exactly all that spectacular though, unlike CGI movies that's super outstanding to say the least. But anyway though, so here's the forms of the battle against with Riala, as you can see. And basically what we need to do is the fact that once you're able to touch those little balls that you can able to rotate around, basically you can able to actually just hit Riala with these balls. And you have to do this 3 times, by the way, in order to able to deal with this fight. And once you're done with that particular fight, then you would able to deal with this boss battle no problem. Sometimes it can be a bit finicky though, even if you're trying to play this game with motion controls, it will be a problematic. So, but either way though, and of course if you get hit, then you lose time as well. So, yeah, just be very careful. Especially noticeable that, well, Riala can really catch you off guard at points. So, there he goes.
Well done, knights. I yield.
Hey, are you alright? What the?
Oh, knights, you are so gullible. Did you really think that I could lose to the likes of you? Don't make me laugh.
Riala, this was supposed to be a fair fight!
Now, don't make such a scene. Cerberus is on the way here to see you.
What? Cerberus?
Cerberus?
Oh, you know Cerberus, that mad old dog who will devour anything in sight. And really, while I'd love to stick around for that, you did hurt me a bit more than I expected. So, unless you're looking to be gobbled up for dinner, I'd stay right there in that cage if I were you.
Knights.
Visitor, it is only natural that you are disturbed by the discovery that NiGHTS is a Nightmaren. If you feel that you can no longer trust him, I suppose it can't be helped. But I would think that by now you'd understand NiGHTS better than anyone.
How?
It's up to you to decide who you want to trust and what you need to do.
So yeah, unlike in the Lost Park, that we didn't get kicked out, or in this case just trying to go back onto, you know what I mean, Dream Gate as a hub world, so we can just get onto the actual mission itself. And by the way, for this particular Delight City world, it kind of feels like, reminds me of some sort of like a level based off from Sonic Heroes almost, which we'll point it out whenever we get into the forms of the neon lights kind of section. So even then though, this one is actually pretty cool looking though, because you can able to actually interact with those, well, there might be some sort of like a casino kind of vibes to it. Again, whenever we get into the forms of the inside portion of that segment, as you can see on the background. But first things first though, we need to go ahead and make it through the first section, where basically that we still need to able to grab those keys from those birds, and, well, make your way to the actual cage as we go. So even then though, not much else to talk about, aside from the fact that, well, I've already mentioned about this before, that the Lego Sonic set was actually based off from Sonic Mania because of the, you know, the Phantom Ruby, as well as one of the heavy boil metals, or, well, heavy boiled I have no idea. Because it's been a really long while since I actually did manage to play Sonic Mania from time to time. Probably it's because I just got distracted by the forms of other stuff I need to be playing on my own time. Such as, for instance, recently I've managed to able to play Wario Land 3 on my Game Boy Color cartridge version for this point, and I'm very thankfully that it actually properly saves. So I'm very appreciative about that. So yeah, this bit right there almost reminds me of the Casino Park level from the likes of Sonic Heroes, and Pinball Highway from the likes of also in Sonic Heroes as well. Except the biggest difference is now that rather than doing with the forms of some of those you know, pinball mechanics, so instead we actually get ourselves slot machines, as you can see. Now I'm presuming you can only activate like 5 slot machines if I recall, and then if you're trying to line those up, then basically you get yourself some more points. So speaking of Sonic Heroes, there's the actual another reference from here. In fact, that particular reference as well is actually very similar to another one of those Sonic references, mainly with the forms of Sonic Riders in a level called Sega Carnival, as far as the actual stage is concerned. Basically, once you get into the forms of the NiGHTS segment, you'll be forced to able to go onto the actual the railing for that particular ball thingy right there, and then you would be able to do it automatically while you're able to rotate the control stick if you manage to build up your air for your extreme gear. So, but even then though, it's pretty awesome actually. So, and of course we're going on to the top-down perspective, much like the forms of the original Nights into Dreams. Even then though that at the moment that I seemed able to actually just get a little bit confused at points, because in order to able to progress through one point to the other when it comes to the forms of the top route or the bottom route, is that we need to keep on activating those switches, so that way it switches the forms of some different areas that you can able to progress. So it's usually kind of hard for me to get used to, but either way though, it's not too bad, I don't think, but still, you might able to get used to that. So yeah, anyway, another thing I was pointing out as well, speaking of Wario Land 3, that once I've completely done with that game on my own time, I'm pretty much at the halfway point in terms of the majority of the Wario platformers. Well, one exception, mind you, which appears to be Virtual Boy Wario Land, just because that game never saw light of day in Europe, but at least I can still able to keep that game on my emulator computer, because even then though, rather than just paying the ridiculous amount of price for not only for the Virtual Boy Wario Land, but also for the Virtual Boy itself, just because, you know what I mean, Virtual Boy was a much more of a failure Nintendo console next to the Wii U. Despite the fact that I don't mind the Wii U, oh, speaking of such, we have some billiards game. Even then though, that it almost reminds me of that one of the worst segments in Dusty Desert level in Sonic 06 in Silver Story. Oh god, I can't bear to able to go through that. But whatever though, at least we able to actually just bypass for that part, and since after all we got the key, and we have finished the, well, the actual entire first mission. Oh wait a second, we're actually going to be doing the boss fight, aren't we? So speaking of such, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have to deal with the Cerberus as in the forms of the next boss fight. Well, usually we have to fight against with the three-headed dog, right? Right? Well, let's just see what happens in that introduction screen. Oh, wait a second. It's not even like Cerberus. Although usually Cerberus was a three-headed dog, but usually in the Knight's universe, for whatever reason, it's like 2. So it comes awfully close though, even though it's certainly a little bit better than the forms of how it does it on that, well, pretty lazy Egg Cerberus boss fight in Sonic 06, because usually it has a one-headed dog, and that's pretty much about it. So anyway, in this entire boss fight, basically you have to able to actually utilize this little ball of chain. And basically, in order to able to deal the damage on the Cerberus, well, usually without a 3-headed dog, but in the 2-headed dogs with separate, well, usually in the chains, or in one particular ball of chain or something. I have no idea, but that's how it is for me, and especially noticeable it's been a while since I actually explained certain things. So anyways, in this battle is the fact that all you have to do is just basically you need to be able to throw that little ball of chain out of the arena, and once you've done that, then you would be able to actually, well, I'm pretty sure you have to collide between these dogs here, or in this case these Cerberus right there, into like, well yeah, as you can see it says it on here, like usually you have to like let 2 of these Cerberus manage to combine into 2, but I don't know, it's hard to explain about this boss battle sometimes, because usually, again, this is a semi-blind playthrough, so forgive me on that part. So, but at least I did manage to deal with him, no problem though, so at least this boss battle is actually rather easy compared to, you know what I mean, the luck-based boss battle ever since in Lost Park. But at least we got the B rank though, so it's not too bad though. Although I wish I could have done a little bit better during the forms of the Neon City kind of section, so usually in a top-down perspective, by able to make things a little bit quicker and faster. No matter what though, let's do one more mission for the sake of this video, and we'll carry on that world until specifically next Monday. So, as far as the forms of next week's uploading schedules for this game as far as I'm concerned, well, I'm pretty much gonna have to talk more about that whenever we get onto the forms of next Monday and next Wednesday. And as far as next Friday is concerned, well, I don't think we can able to actually mention about that right now because, again, we'll save that for another day, because here we go on to the second mission in Delight City. So, seriously, that place reminds me of Sonic Heroes for, you know, Casino Park.
Hey, Knights. Can I ask you something?
Huh. What is it?
Well, I mean, it's nothing major. It's just, could we maybe go back to that city with the neon lights? It's just that the city at nighttime, it feels like that's what the real world is like for grown-ups. And someday, I'm going to grow up and I'll live in a world just like that. See? It's just like you see on TV or in the movies. Oh, sorry. You probably wouldn't understand.
Okay, let's go. I'd like to scope out Nightopia at night myself.
Really? Thanks, Knights.
Oh, it's terrible. A whole horde of Nightmarins are attacking.
What?
They want to use the city as a base for their invasion of Nightopia. Ooh.
What do you want to do, Will? It looks like your city is in danger.
If it's in danger, then I'm going to protect it.
All right, then let's make sure those Nightmarins go right back to where they came from.
Okay, so in this mission right here is the fact that we need to defeat every single of those Nightmarins during the course of the actual time limit, and you have to defeat all 20 enemies in the actual top-down perspective. And it's going to be almost like a labyrinth-y kind of mission like this, especially noticeable that you need to constantly utilize the forms of those little ring gravity stuff, whatever you want to be more precise with. And basically, that's how you're able to actually proceed to those different parts of the mission. And also keep that in mind, you do need to keep on activating those switches, but sometimes enemies usually just manage to able to show up during some section of the forms of this particular segment. And yeah, the only thing I don't like about this mission though is the fact that it's almost like a labyrinth-y kind of mission. Although if you really want to get the A rank, you have to accomplish multiple things. For one, don't waste your time. Two, is the fact that don't get hit at least once, or in this case, don't get hit by certain enemies at all. And three is the fact that you have to be fast, because otherwise, if this will become like a labyrinth-y kind of moment like this, sometimes you might wander around just just wondering for what the hell you're supposed to go. And fourthly is the fact that, well, I highly recommend the GameCube controller option, because with the Wiimote and Nunchuck combo, or to be more specifically, the Wiimote on its own, it will be a lot more hellish to go through. So that's probably just me anyway though. Which reminds me, is the fact that in your forms of in the original Nights into Dreams, that game was the only game in a NiGHTS game that did manage to able to re-release the game on the PlayStation 2 in Japan, and everywhere else in the PlayStation Network, on the PlayStation 3 specifically, PC Steam versions, as well as Xbox Live Arcade on the Xbox 360. But I've no idea why that NiGHTS Journey of Dreams never gets its re-release on any kind of, like, modern platforms. Like, I do understand why. It's probably because this game does have mixed reception, or in this case, mixed to positive reviews. I'd say that this game is actually really good. Even though it wasn't as perfect as the forms of the originals, in my opinion, though, because the original on the Sega Saturn is a pure masterpiece. But that's probably just me anyway, though. But at least the actual, the visuals do look kind of nice, except for the actual in-game cutscenes, because again, it reminds me of so much of like a PlayStation 2 game. And don't even get me started on that terrible cutscenes from Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, because, oh god, what the hell, what is up with the forms of lip-syncing issues, and also just everything else in Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric sucks. But believe me, I'm probably not gonna go for that game, because it is so bad. But anyway though, and also is one of my worst video games I have ever played, alongside with the forms of, well, I would say, but the forms of my my least favorite games in certain series, as far as I'm aware. Obviously, my least favorite Sonic game is probably Sonic 06. Despite the music is good and all, but the actual story is a huge mess, as we already established that several times already, but I'll probably talk more about it whenever we get onto Helion's story playthrough or something like that. So, yeah, I digress. So now we dished out many of those Nightmarians now, so even and let's see what rank we got. Just a C rank, so could have done a little bit better though, assuming if you don't wander around like a busy work flying kind of person or something, but oh well though. So, I think seemingly to say is the fact that we'll have to end things off here, so join me next time for more of Let's Play of NiGHTS Journey of Dreams. Is that we're going to be still continuing things on in Delight City while going through the next few missions, so I'll see you guys until next Monday. Later fellas.